Good evening. I'd like to call the Joint Building Committee of the School Board and City Council meeting to order on October 9th, 2024 at 6 p.m. First item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Those able, please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Second item is the approval of the September 11th, 2024 minutes.
So moved.
There being a motion
Second.
by Steve and a second by Matt. Is there discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Item 3 is our architect update. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I met you all last month, but I'm Matt Giffen from Banwell Architects. So last month we reviewed exterior building colors and finishes. We made that selection. Thank you very much. So this month we are looking at interior colors. So I'll start big picture first, and then we'll get right into it. So on the screen, if you don't mind flipping through until we see a colored floor plan. All right, we'll start right here. So what I want to do is go, generally speaking, space by space to kind of paint the picture so we know what we're talking about, and then we'll look at the colors. So today we'll be looking at the gym. So the gym's down here, so we'll look at the colors, the athletic padding, the various colors throughout the gym. When you walk in through the main entrance, there's a porcelain tile. We do not have that material ready to review yet, so that'll be next month. So there'll be no lobby colors selected today. The interior of the cafeteria, as well as all of the classrooms, uses the same flooring material. So we're going to look at accent colors and field colors. We're going to look at the carpet in the administration wing and in the library. And we're going to look at the ceramic and porcelain tile in the bathrooms. We will not be looking at paint colors. We're not going to be looking at anything ceiling related. We'll look at wall base because that works well with the flooring itself. But that's what we're reviewing this month, and then as I mentioned, next month we got a few more colors to pick out. So what we'll do is we'll start with the fun stuff. We'll start with the classrooms, the cafeterias, and the corridors. So in these spaces, we're using a flooring product called MCT. It's a marmoleum composite tile by Forbo. This is different than VCT, which is what you see in a lot of the schools. There's no waxing, which is very nice. You can wax it if you would like. It can be installed in a very high relative humidity, so the project saves money on moisture mitigation, and it comes with a lot of fun colors. So Banwell, we put together a lot of different color options, and we presented Kim, Annie, and Allison these colors today in the job trailer, along with the other construction team. So we've actually narrowed some of the options down. I came with a lot of different options. I think that would have been overwhelming for this JBC meeting tonight. So we've narrowed it down. I think we've got the color palette that we like. We've got a couple of options that I think we'd like to review with you, but we'd like to throw out. But if I can have you look over here, unfortunately it's not something digital on the screen, so we'll have to rely on the camera for remote folks to see. So we'll start with the field color. So what the field color means is the color in the classrooms that takes up about 80% of the floor area. So if you look up here, the typical classroom has the field color in the middle, and then there's a band around the room. And then there's, outside of each classroom door, the color spills out into the corridors. Inside the cafeteria, generally speaking, there's the field color, and then we have these cool kind of chain-linky type patterns, and each one of those patterns has a different color. So we'll have 5 colors for each grade. So we've got a lot of different colors throughout the building. And like I mentioned, we don't have the porcelain tile in the lobby, but the same concept will apply, and you'll be seeing that next month. So big picture, we do not have a logo yet, but the school colors have been selected, which is white and purple. So there's a couple of purples that we're presenting today, but we don't want a school that looks like a grape, of course, so there'll be a bunch of different colors as well. So what we're recommending, what we all agreed on today, and would appreciate your feedback, we presented these 4 field colors, and we selected these 2 field colors. So I actually have some larger samples up here if anyone feels like getting up and coming closer. We've got some bigger samples here. This lighter color will be the field color in the corridors and in spaces that are darker. Darker meaning, of course, we've got the artificial lights, but there's no windows for natural light. So we'll have this lighter color that is in these darker spaces, and then we have this darker color with purples and blues, and there's even a little bit of orange sprinkled in there for the field colors in the classrooms. And so that's these 2 colors here. These we presented, but we ultimately decided that this was too creamy and would show a lot of dirt, and this was just kind of looked like someone had spilled some paint on it. Just didn't look that great. So these are the 2 colors that we felt made sense for the field colors. And so for the 5 accent colors, we have a kind of a lighter, brighter blue, a darker blue, a green, a purple, and a gray. Corresponding with these accent colors are the wall base. Oh, yes.
So, if I may,
Yeah.
did the committee make a decision on the flooring of it being marmoleum, or are we also looking at VCT?
Originally, in our construction documents, we had VCT as a base bid, and we had marmoleum as an add alternate. The reason is marmoleum, the install cost is, I don't know this off the top of my head, but it's almost double the cost installed of VCT. But VCT is actually a pretty inferior product. It's bad for the environment. You have to wax it multiple times a year. Over the span of, I think it's around 10 years, VCT ends up being almost triple the cost of MCT.
I understand that piece, but I'm more concerned about is this, because obviously in our past experience, whatever the heck we had before, it's very porous. Do we have any concerns regarding the moisture mitigation on the cement and such along the line?
Nope, it's a great question. So VCT, as you mentioned, that has a relative humidity install around 85%.
Yeah, which is terrible knowing.
Yep, and it's almost impossible to install on a new slab. So marmoleum with the adhesives that we selected can be installed up to, I think it's 99.9% RH. So we carried a $250,000 allowance for moisture mitigation for VCT. So the MCT actually may be cheaper at the end of the day once you have to pay for that. Yep.
The 2 products that Matt was talking about, which one's life expectancies last longer? I mean, I understand you gotta wax, you gotta do this, but also ripping up a floor ain't cheap.
Yep. Yeah, so I would say VCT, if you are constantly waxing it, that can literally last 100 years because all of that wax on there is what's wearing, it's not the material itself. But after 100 years, you've probably paid for 18 of these floors. So I guess I'm gonna say the MCT probably has a lower life expectancy because you're relying on the material itself, but it's
What's the difference
much cheaper.
in life expectancy? I know,
Uh,
like you said, one's 100 years, is this 5, 10,
Yeah.
2?
20 to 30 years. That's assuming with a mediocre maintenance crew. If you come in and you clean every day and you're vacuuming and your chairs aren't grinding your dirt into it, it can last a very long time. Yep.
When you say field color, what's on your screen, what's that on the board?
Yep, so the field color in this discussion would be these areas
Okay,
and then these areas.
all right.
And then the accents is basically anything that looks like a color on the screen.
So just to hear you, the MCT does not require any kind of water barrier treatment.
Yep, correct.
Okay.
It does not.
It was mentioned that colors are already selected. I thought, did this committee do this last month?
No, we did not.
So we haven't,
Pick
so,
some colors?
yeah,
Yep,
we haven't
we're asking you to,
selected.
we're asking you to approve the colors that we tentatively have selected today. So we presented a wider variety.
Right. So
if
we
you're
still have
interested-
selections.
Yep. So this was another color option, and actually what we did today is we actually took colors off boards and moved them around. So what I'm actually presenting right now looked different than what we looked at today. Generally speaking, what we whittled it down to was a slightly more muted color scheme versus a very bright, colorful kind of in-your-face color scheme. This is a somewhat popular color scheme in elementary schools, right? This isn't something crazy that we came in and suggested. But something that we like to talk about in our world is these materials are so durable now, they actually ugly out faster than they wear out. And that's the risk that we feel with some of these colors that we got rid of today. It may look fun and exciting today, but in 10 years, you may be being like, what the heck were they thinking?
Yeah.
So if you're curious, some of the other colors that we were considering, that's what you're looking at here. Yep.
So also based off of certain colors, especially in like submarines and ships, they pick certain colors to basically bring a brighter behavior of the children.
Yep.
So did we look at any of that?
Yep, exactly. And so I can answer that question, but just remember, so next month or in the next couple of months, we're going to be looking at paint colors. So that is very much plays into this as well. But we did talk about that today. Kim actually had a couple strong opinions on it. You know, we got rid of the orange, we've got rid of some of the blues, tend to create more of like maybe I'll let you jump in.
It's like like you said, like almost like a psychology of colors, right? So you're really looking at the research behind that, and I've been doing a lot of research, and these guys know as well. The green is supposed to like promote that, reduce anxiety. That blue is kind of more is supposed to encourage more of that deep thinking piece. So really kind of being strategic and really thoughtful and meaningful behind the color selection of how this is going to play out was really kind of the driving force behind the conversation today. So that definitely is a big part of that conversation. You think about kids, a lot of the stuff that's going on right now with kids really struggling with regulation, sensory needs, like the warmer, more the muted colors are really what I have found over the years have been very beneficial to these students who have really struggled to just have their needs really truly met. That calmer, muted profile is really what has worked with these kids.
And as excited as I get about floor colors, at the end of the day, furniture ends up filling the room and you can barely see it anyways. So the paint colors in particular is infinitely more important for things like that, but it's not to say that this isn't important either.
So one question we had to start is the field color in the public spaces, the corridors, those areas, going to be the same or different from the field color in the classrooms? So that's one question we want answered tonight. And secondly, these are the two that kind of rose to the top if we were going to have two different versus one. But we have this choice, and all of those choices as well if you think there are better colors than the ones that we are proposing.
Yep.
Sorry to be a pain again, but Mr. Letourneau will appreciate this. We should probably keep it to one, maybe two colors. In my opinion, one, it's easier to stock on the shelves, it's easier to have, and two, it's gonna be easier to match if that color is no longer available, which is probably tomorrow, after you guys buy it. That's how colors seem to go out. That's just my opinion. If we minimize the amount of colors we put places, it's easier for the maintenance crew to keep a stock shelf full. They might not use it for 10 years, but at least it's on the shelf. They have to cut out a section or something.
You're talking for the field color itself?
For any colors we're putting on the floor.
So, okay, I hear what you're
Field color.
saying. One of the design intents of choosing these accent colors was so that each grade had their own color. So that was the design intent.
And for what it's worth, what you just said is 100% correct. These colors do eventually get discontinued. Part of our specification is we order, I think it's 5% of every color gets attic stock. So 5% of the field, for example, is going to be many hundreds of square feet. So there's in the storage room, there's going to be a lot of extra material that's being stored in case of this.
Are we getting a storage container to store all this extra?
We've got some.
I can speak to that if you'd like. We store all of our attic stock in the high school attic.
Matt?
And you mentioned each grade possibly different color. That might work day one, but I'm just worried about day 10 years from now. will that be the same grade be utilized in that space based off of future needs? It's something, I didn't know if that was concerned.
Yep. Yeah, it's, you know, it's tough to predict things like that. You know, there's 3 classrooms per grade plus flex rooms. So the flex rooms stray from that color, of course. So this may not be, you always have these bubble years. So, you know, the things that we juggle is like, do you make something that only has 1 or 2 colors and maintenance-wise you're safe, or do you have a fun, vibrant school color that the kids are going to appreciate? You know, we tend to lean towards the interior environment and thinking about kids. Of course, you know, some of the reasons why we pick these colors in this particular product is for maintenance reasons. This is infinitely easier to maintain than VCT. Some of these colors that we picked that we're recommending, hide dirt, salt, things like that. This one that we're not recommending, you're going to see the dirt quite a bit more. So it's that balance. It's like, you know, you could make a jail which is bulletproof, but it's a jail, or you could make, you know, so we have a tough job of finding that fine line, and no matter who you ask, it's going to be a different opinion.
I like the idea of the 2 field choices, just narrowing it down to those 2 and having one for the hallway and this different one for the cafeteria and classrooms. I like the contrast of the 2 environments. That's my opinion. Matt?
I would, excuse me, I would agree with you, and I think, excuse me, I think I'd take issue with 2 of the room colors, that dark purple and that lime green. I have to stare at that lime green all day long, and it drives me nuts. It makes me want to throw up all day long.
Yeah, I know.
And that purple, it reminds me of...
You're talking about these 2 right here?
Yeah, I don't like this.
It's not a hill I'm gonna die on, but, you know, if there are other colors than the purple and the green, I would love it. But I'm not working there, so I'm not the one who's gonna say, you know.
I know what Matt's talking about. I've been to his school and his wing, that whole pod of that team is that lime green.
It's right there.
It's off-putting. It's off-putting. It's not nice on the eyes.
And just so I'm clear, you were talking about a wall color in that situation or a floor color?
Oh,
It's both.
It's both, okay.
Yeah, it matches, and the stair, each corner of my school has a different color.
Mhm.
So the opposite corner is that dark purple, and it's just as bad.
Got it.
Everyone complains about that dark purple.
And just curious, if we picked our wall colors to not match that, do you think that could offset some of those concerns, or do you think even if we went all white walls, for example, that would still be a
I would think it would, for sure. I mean, if I had to stare at that dark purple all over the place, I think I'd go crazy in the lime green, but if the walls are a different color, I think it would probably be tolerable.
Okay.
And I think maintenance-wise too, to keep more walls a single color versus a lot of different accent paints is preferred. So maybe our walls are a constant color for the most part, and we get our color in the floor. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be tolerable, but again, I'm not working there. But I feel for the people who do. So.
And are you okay with us kind of having Aaron weigh in? Because at the end of the day, this isn't my school, this is Aaron's school, so I feedback like that is I very much appreciate. Like, I don't want to be shoving a color down your throat if it's going to be making people nauseous. So I don't know if Aaron, you want to
I
step
don't
in?
mind hearing, but
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, so just to be clear, what we're hoping for is we leave the meeting today with the colors finalized, because we got to get the color selections over to Harvey to get the order in. So in the ideal situation, we're not revisiting this next month, we can walk away. So if we can kind of dialogue this and figure out a way to come to a solution,
Well, why don't we start with the field colors and
Perfect.
decide which one we want in the rooms, which one we want in the traffic, the hallway
Sounds
areas. Why
Yep,
don't we
I love
start
that.
with that?
So is that something you want to mention, or do you want me to
Let
say it?
them.
Okay.
Yeah, so what do you guys think?
I'm with Matt on the skipping of the purple and green.
No, we're not on that.
No.
We're on the field
Not a
color
field color.
choices. Do we have the big tiles so I can kind of hold them up? So can you hold up the two field colors, the cream and the grayish. Okay?
Yeah.
So one of those has to go in your traffic areas, your hallways. The other would be going in the cafeteria and classroom
The
spaces.
dark one, I like.
We're using both of them. One of them will be in the hallways, one of them will be in the classrooms, in the cafeteria.
And just to reiterate, what we're recommending and what we had previously discussed earlier today would be the lighter color in the corridors and the darker color in the classrooms.
Are we all good with that?
I like that idea.
I like that too. Shane, do you have a question?
I'm good with that. I have more, I just worry about this being kind of making the classroom dark. That's the only concern I have for that.
Yep, and so, very good question. So each classroom has enormous windows. So we have very large windows, and the shades that get installed aren't blackout shades. So if it's very sunny and you shut it, it actually diffuses the light. So unless it's February and classes are going until 4, it's actually gonna be pretty light in these rooms, even on the north sides.
Sarah?
Yep.
So with the new film on the windows, which I'm happy with, all the teachers always say it's very gloomy in their rooms, which is, I'll take safety over being, even on a sunny day, I'm gonna take safety. So it's gonna always look shady in our new rooms. I don't know if you've been in the schools, it's always look shady. So that's why it is my concern, this being dark in the classrooms, it's gonna feel even dark. That's just mine, but I'm not gonna doubt it.
The walls, though, if you think about the wall colors, that being
Yeah, as long as the wall
lighter,
colors
it-
will bring it out,
Yeah,
yeah.
all right. So do we need to vote on these decisions? Do you guys want to make a motion to accept the gray for the classrooms and the cream for the hallways?
So moved.
Okay, there being a motion by Alex, a second by Matt Pappas. Any further discussion? So voting would be, yep.
I had one more question about the light color, the tan for the hallways. Is there any concern about that being dirty all the time?
That's actually a very good color for that, and for what it's worth, that's actually the most popular color that I see them selected at most schools, specifically in the corridors.
I guess my question would be, like, that lighter color is what would be in the lobby area, or no?
The
The
lobby's
lobby's
tiled.
tiled, thank you. So
Yeah.
the tile could be darker, right?
Correct.
Than that.
And
if
then it
we-
would start
When we
right-
get to that next
right
month.
here.
Yeah, okay, thank you, just wanna make sure. All right, and then in the hallway though, do we have borders or no borders? It would
No
just be
borders.
that all the way down the
Except for
corridors?
outside the classroom doors, we have like a little mat of
Okay.
the color.
Okay,
And then, sorry, just in case it wasn't clear, so we've got, these fancy little things, but it also happens at some of the bigger intersections in the corridors as well. So this is level 1 and
Okay.
level 2, in the same spot, there's a similar pattern.
so then my question would be, would those color chain links look okay on that cream? Or would they look better on the darker,
I think it would look better on the lighter one, because
On the
that'll really
lighter?
allow those colors to pop.
okay.
Don't we have a rendering?
Yep, actually, if you can flip through some of the stuff.
Yeah, right there. Here? Yep. See, that's a light color with some of the colors there.
Yeah, okay.
And if we can scroll down to look at some of the other renderings, so this is what it would look like in the cafeteria.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that looks cool.
And then, so a typical classroom. So this was showing the lighter color, so we've gone with the darker color, but same concept.
Yeah, okay. Great.
And then we'll get to the gym later.
So the motion on the table is to have the darker color in the classrooms and in the cafeteria, and then the lighter color in the corridors. All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Okay, one opposed. All right, next decision.
So the accent colors.
Okay. So So they would be in the classrooms as a border on the
So-
floor,
Right.
and the chain link, like the link design in the
Correct.
corridor and in the cafeteria.
Correct.
And we have 5 colors that we would have to choose,
Yep.
1 for each grade.
And if I can just hold,
Which one will be dark?
so just as an
Oh,
example,
6.
I don't know if this makes a difference, but,
It's the same pattern I had in the funeral ones.
so to me, if this was being paired next to this in the classrooms, this is a lot more kind of in-your-face purple. If we're going with this in here, this is a little bit more subtle. I don't know if that changes your opinion on it whatsoever, but I just want to point out that
I'm a day on the purple.
It almost is, the shades of that purple in here too, right?
I'm more on purple than I am on.
we've got a couple pieces actually.
Can you play off the blues and the dark blues?
White and purple.
No, we haven't even decided.
We haven't decided yet.
My understanding, and I don't want to misspeak, but I don't think the JBC,
JBC makes it, unless it's a logo visual.
okay. Is that,
There's some
so
misunderstanding.
JBC does or does not weigh in on school colors?
Yes.
No, they do, absolutely.
Oh, okay. Oh, so are we
It's the
voting on that
mascot.
today
It's
then?
the mascot.
We gotta choose, I think.
I'm sorry, I misspoke. I guess it's the mascot.
The mascot goes by the school.
Yeah, mascot is
Yep.
up to the. All right, so we have to pick 6
Yes.
colors. Do you have the 6 that you're
These are 5,
3.
and then we have others here. So these are the other ones that we can pick. Yellow, this teal, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a color, an accent. You know, we have
I
gray.
like the teal. I like playing off blues versus the lime. I don't like the lime.
Okay.
I had a question. We heard some comments about colors and how they affect students. Did the folks that you actually looked at, did they pick out colors for each specific grade, K through 5?
We did not.
Okay, so this is all up for grabs, all right.
Yeah.
That's curious what they thought.
Yeah, I think Kim had some ideas, but we didn't specifically record it.
Okay, you have K through 5 ideas?
You do, so,
Let's hear it.
That's okay, I'm not worried about it. I can do anything, really. So, one of the things I was kind of thinking of, you know, having the intermediate grades, right, have kind of a more of a subtle, darker tones of blue. Again, stimulating like the whole science, math, we know that's kind of a big push for the upper grades, and more testing occurs there, especially with the district testing, that piece can really play a part with that concentration. And you know, the primary grades, kindergarten, first, second, they really kind of gear towards the brighter colors. So that would be more, I would look more towards a really like that lighter blue, green, the tint of, I know, you're.
No, but I'm.
But that's so, but then again, you look at the borders, right? And I'm thinking like, when I have kids that are coming out, they're not gonna be reading the classroom signs because they're still learning how to read, right? They're gonna jump to color.
Yeah.
So being able to identify your color. So if you've got a kid, again, you think about regulation and a student who's really struggling with regulating their body and their emotions, their first thing, that's why we do the zones of regulation. What color are you in? They're more apt to identify the color of that classroom. So the fact that it spills out a little bit would actually benefit. So having brighter colors, like the green or the light purple, light blue, that would be more for that primary age.
So should we put just on the floor? Put that up, maybe swap out with that muted color, that grayish muted, or yeah, either one. Just
So,
But I look at it from one color, one for,
So then that's like 3 shades of blue. I don't, that might be, I mean, to be honest though, the lobby rendering, it's just like an example rendering. I do like that kind of color scheme where it's the green or like a different, that's like the only green we have is like a lime green, but the one here looks
The
little-
other green in this
like a s-
marmoleum was not a pretty green.
Okay.
It was, it was not good.
Alright. Thoughts? Yeah.
I'll just throw my hat in here. I liked the original color scheme. The way it's been reorganized now, I think we've got too many shades of blue. And I think that it's good to have a couple bolder colors to contrast. I like Erin's point about having some that are bright and very clear indicators, especially for those younger kids to know exactly where they're going. They know I'm the purple. And, you know, Matt's earlier comment about green being, or purple being too much. We're talking about accent colors. I think with that in mind, I personally like the color scheme that was presented originally, and I would suggest we stick with that.
Yeah, so maybe go back to the lime instead of the orange and the. Yeah. that's the
Well,
original.
and this way, if we're picking a lot of colors, like we said, the walls can be more of a muted neutral. So that,
But now like the blues on the top look textured, but the purple doesn't look textured, neither does the lime green. So
it has a little
It
bit,
does?
yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit more subtle.
I think it would look a little bit odd if it was all textured, or
Right.
all solid colors. I
Oh.
like the contrast
Yeah.
between them. Some are more textured, some are more solid looking. I think it helps to break things up rather than have it be all consistent.
does that provide enough bright colors for K1 and 2 or K and 1?
I think so, I mean, if I may, if we're looking at just the accent colors, right, I mean, there's more,
Field.
yeah, the more feel, that there's more to it than just that, I think that's more like that framework. But there's a lot more work that's gonna be going into it, I mean, I can only assume, I mean, these guys, they've been fantastic with this, so I don't think they're gonna steer us in the wrong direction.
So what are the 6 colors for the classrooms?
So right now we have 5,
But we need 6, right?
we need 6.
K to 5.
Yeah, we were maybe suggesting this one, that's still a little more neutral.
What would you call that
I know.
I can't read it. Misty.
Misty. There's the beige.
There is. There's a beige. This is a beige.
Yeah.
We can do beige.
Is there any other greens available, or is that like?
The green, do you have the, you know,
That's just-
the
Yeah,
green is it's,
It's closer to that green than,
yeah, it's not a hunter green.
So
You
it's
would,
worse than that one?
yes.
That one might be pretty upgrade.
I mean, too bad it
Just
wasn't
my
like a
opinion.
seafoam green.
Yeah.
Like a seafoam, more
Oh,
of a-
what's seafoam look like?
if they don't have it, it's
Yeah.
not available. Like this rendering of the lobby,
I'm just,
that
I worked at a
green is
factory
pretty.
for 15 years looking at green, so I'm kind of with Matt when you're looking at it. Maybe it's my own personal reasons why I'm against that color green, but I'm not gonna work there, I'm not gonna be looking at it, so.
What about
I gotta
this?
put that aside.
What if we use this as an accent color in one of the classrooms? So this would be the field and this would be the accent
I like that.
Yeah, you could use that.
versus that. So basically, it would be mostly this, but,
But the classrooms are that.
Sorry.
darker. The
that's what I meant, the opposite.
The opposite.
Yeah.
Always.
So how much of this are we really looking at, you know, I guess, we're talking about accent of,
Just the floor.
accent flooring.
It's only a band. There are 3 tiles around the perimeter. So
That's
it's-
it?
That's it.
I don't really think it's gonna have any effect on how much you're staring at it all day long, or, you know, I
Yeah.
mean, there's gonna be a different wall color, a different main floor color, and all the different furniture. and-
There's
That one,
furniture
right
on
there.
it.
Exactly, yeah,
See it?
exactly. So that's all you're gonna see is that border is gonna be the color.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't really see where it's, any color is gonna be an offensive amount of it, because there's so little of it.
Matt?
So can you just point to the different accent colors so I can see what you're talking about? By grade?
We haven't selected the grays, but,
Oh, well, what are the different accent colors?
so these two blues, purple, green, gray, and we're considering if this is a classroom, maybe this could be an accent one.
But isn't that the hallway?
Yeah, yeah, but
So
you could,
then you wouldn't have that, what we like in the rendering, the little bump out from the door into the hallway will just be one
right,
same.
for that grade, yeah.
Or
I
that
think we should.
other
Or this,
color,
yeah,
I
or
mean, the
this,
one that's up there. I mean, that,
this taupe,
yeah, the taupe.
which goes well.
Contrast with the gray. That goes, with- yeah.
Yeah, it pulls out some of the taupe in there, and it will
Transition to
Yeah.
the
to the corridor.
corridor. Yeah, I mean, I like those colors that are there. Yeah, Jane?
So, I saw orange up there, Aaron, where does orange stand in that whole psychology? Is that, I like the orange, but if it's gonna,
I
Maybe-
personally, that was kind of my first thought, because again, selfishly, I worked at Nancy Loud, right, and the school colors was orange. I really like orange. Energy, right? More conducive for gymnasium, maybe at that, but like too much can really provoke that anxiety piece,
okay,
if I recall correctly,
all right,
yeah.
thank you.
This is just a little, this is a quarter, and look at how different that tone looks compared to all the other ones. I mean, if it was bigger, it just jumps out a lot more.
Already getting energized.
I'd have to buy new sneakers every day.
Yeah, I like the muted,
But this is
too
fairly too blue,
Yeah.
so.
too bright. All right, anyone want to make a motion to accept the field colors? Matt?
Make a motion to accept, is it the accent colors?
Or the
You already did the
accent-
field, right?
Accent colors, sorry.
Accent colors as displayed.
Second.
All right, there being a motion by Matt and a second by Shane. Any further discussion on accent colors? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Excellent, thank you very much. All right,
Thank you.
so next, we will look at the gym.
Well, what about carpet?
Oh, I'm sorry, carpet, I'm sorry, getting ahead of myself here. So, we have very, oh, yep,
I have a question on this, like that slide right there.
yes.
It's not about colors, but the cubbies in the hallway. I know we're doing away in some schools with cubbies going into the classroom and on the hallway. Are we doing cubbies in the hallway?
Yes.
Okay, that's, okay.
Here. So we have carpet in the library and carpet in the admin, and there's some more colors. These are the two that were favored, but we have others.
So these, I don't know how well this is. Yeah, I do that.
I know.
Where's the carpet going?
Keep that one
The
up there.
administration
Gordon.
is one color,
Keep that one up.
and then the
That's a no.
library.
People might want to see it.
Library, yeah.
Administration.
Library, admin.
Yeah, the green can go with
Are we going with that lime green?
It's going to administration.
Aaron's got that.
Orange walls, lime
Thanks,
green
Matt.
carpeting.
Kind of what a picture of me up
Thank
there.
you.
So would the library and admin be the same?
They could
Oh,
be,
yeah.
Yeah.
they could be.
All these are different.
We're recommending them being different, but they could be the same.
Oh, that they be different.
No, that's library.
So right now, these are the
Pass in front of the camera.
Okay.
Now it's better than
He wants to see them in the camera.
Oh, sorry. Yep, thanks.
There's orange in there.
Here's the TV.
This was a no?
Yeah, I like that.
It's red, it's not orange. Teacher said I didn't know what next was. It's red.
All right. Are we good with the blue for the library and the gray for the admin?
So moved.
Okay. There being a motion by Steve, a second by Matt Pappas. Any further discussion? Matt?
Just want to ask the question, because orange was talked about as a energy color, there's orange in that blue carpet for the library, is that a problem?
I don't think it's a problem.
Not enough.
That's was
I just wanna make
what's
sure.
being recommended.
Not a problem.
Whole library, are we happy with orange in the library? It's a quiet zone, and we have an energy color.
It's a reddish one.
For the record,
Yeah, but in his offense, that's a big area.
big area, I just, before you have sprints happening up and down. I just wanna make
You are
sure,
kidding,
you
right?
just said orange with an energy color.
Well, I think, yeah, but
No,
it's,
this is-
This is strip.
yeah, it's a strip, so Matt, when you think about orange, like, if I were to paint a whole wall, or have half the flooring that color, that is what.
You just understand the psychology of kids, I do not, that's why I'm asking.
But yeah, no, something like that, that should be fine, it's subtle enough, but then when you start going to big areas, that's when you
Okay.
start, yeah, that's when you start running into problems.
And there's bookcases.
Correct, yeah.
All right, Matt.
I just want to point out that it was Tim that seconded that, not me.
Oh, sorry.
So, it was Tim.
So, okay, hang on, let's. So, who motioned?
Steve.
Okay, Steve made the motion and Tim seconded the motion. So the motion on the table is for the blue carpet for the library, the gray carpet for the admin suite. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay.
Great. Next on the list is stairs. So we have a total of 3 stairs in this building. So we looked at this plan once again. I would call this the main stair. So you come in the main entrance, you walk up. I imagine the majority of students will be using this stair. This door will be held open so you can see into that stair. There's a second stair right here in the middle. Students may live their whole life here and never know the stair exists. This is just for fire code reasons. The door lives shut. There's actually no access to the front door, or sorry, to the level 1. It's just an egress stair. And then there's this end stair here, which will provide access to folks upstairs who maybe are going outside to the playground. But for the most part, this is the main stair. But we're going to pick one color for all 3 stairs, just for context.
And it's a rubber tile, tread and riser, so.
Yep. So very durable, slip resistant. So we presented 3 different colors here. So a purple, a dark navy, and a green. Kind of hearing the feedback kind of earlier. I think maybe I know where this will head, but so this is what we originally thought to present to you today. We have some additional colors over there, but those are a little bit more bright.
And you're saying one color for all the stairwells?
Correct.
Are you guys good with the blue?
Yeah.
Aaron, do you like the blue?
Yeah.
Annie, you like the blue?
Yeah, is that the one, just wait, is that the one that you had said you had recommended?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so is there a motion?
Motion is presented.
Second.
All right, motion for blue stairwells, treads, risers, rubber. All right, motion was Shane, second was Steve. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Excellent, thank you. All right, so Jim? Sure. All right, if we can go to the gym, please.
Sarah, I do have a quick question.
Yeah.
After all these colors are made, can we get updated renderings?
Yes, yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, that would be great.
And for the paint, we can actually do a fly-through video, yes.
Yeah, good.
Sarah.
Okay, so
Shane, I'm sorry, Matt.
So
Shane?
Jim, this is technically should be the school color, like, we decided to do it as a school color, correct? The gym would be probably the school colors.
We did.
I think that's appropriate,
Yeah.
because your mascot will be in the floor. The pads typically are the color.
Okay.
Yep. So, I'm sorry, so clarify, so the purple and yellow, so purple and white, do we want to vote on that today?
JBC has to vote on that.
Yep, so were we hoping to accomplish that today?
I believe that's what the plan was.
Okay. So,
So let's show them
Yeah.
the colors.
okay, so I forget who just said that, but yes, we do very much like to have, and we don't have this on the screen itself, so I'm just trying to bring this a little bit closer. So we use this Target Sports Floor, which we presented last month. Their website has the ability just to throw a bunch of different options on there. These aren't necessarily the colors that we're presenting. We wanted to share what the possibilities are. So for example, you could have an entirely blue gym floor with green free throw lines. You could have an entire wood-looking floor with just colorful lines. You could have a logo in the middle with colored free throw lines of various colors. So there's a lot of different possibilities there. What we had discussed earlier was that let's have our school colors be on the walls with athletic padding and or with paint, and our floors would just be a classic oak look. And then we might get a little creative with the actual line striping. But the thought was to have the entire floor, including the free throw lines, as the classic oak color. So that's what we're presenting. But we also have the ability to look at maple and then all sorts of different reds and greens and things that I wouldn't necessarily recommend, but we can look at those if you would like. Yes.
Why wouldn't we do the free throw lines and the outline ahead of time? And why would we just go all oak?
I'm sorry.
So we will have a colored line layout.
Okay.
That's not tonight, that would be next. We just wanted to get the direction on the wall pads and the divider curtain, which is here. And if purple was the color, this is the purple that comes in the wall pads and the divider curtain.
Shane?
Can we just, this might be for Andy and Aaron, what are the colors at all the other elementary schools?
In terms of, yeah, so,
Like, take it as like school color.
So 2 of the elementary schools have blue and white. The middle and high school, and also the Bud Carlson, I believe, are red, white, and black. McClellan is maroon and white. So there is no purple and white any of the schools.
Maple is green and white.
There you go.
So, and if I may, Andy, so kind of the thought process behind that, the choosing the purple, right? So, you know, I've been 20 years in the district and kind of seeing how the city is really, is a true community, right? And part of the thought process behind pitching these colors was, you know, we're building a new school and we're rezoning the district, right? And it's truly a community happening, joint project. And Rochester's known as the Lilac City, right? So you want to honor what is currently in Rochester, embody the community, the feedback, make it a whole process. That was kind of the thought process behind that purple and white colors. That and no other school has that. It's a little easier for field day.
Matt?
I'm wondering if, is it common for a gym to have the basketball court be one color wood and the out of bounds be another color?
That has been done.
Yeah, there's a countless options.
Right.
They're really, you can't really do anything wrong. I would be hesitant to go aggressive with like all color, but what you just mentioned, I've seen that on college
I was
basketball
just thinking
courts.
maybe like a
Actually,
lighter color in one and a darker color in the other.
That's what this photo shows, actually. So the main court is the wood color, and then they have a different color on the out of bounds.
Are you also, if I may, are you suggesting that the free throw area also be the same wood color, or would that be
Well,
a solid color?
We looked at the different colors, and Matt's getting them right now, and there is not a purple that is a nice looking purple. It's like a magenta. But if you're going to, that's the wall pads, that's not this material for the floor.
Okay. Sarah?
Yep,
Yeah,
Shane?
because I think it would look nice having the, if we're gonna go whatever the school colors are, having the middle, the color of the school color. The free throw.
So this,
The free throw, yeah. like,
yeah, it's right in here,
Yeah, like right where that red dot is.
right.
Where it's already colored in?
This?
Yes, that's what I'd like to have the,
So this is the only purple that we have.
yeah.
Yeah.
In the floor.
Yeah.
And the flooring, yeah.
I don't like
Alex?
that.
So let's say, would we be able to do, like the painted lines?
Yes.
We'd be able to do
You could
as
match.
the same color as the walls?
Yes,
If it's a
this
different color.
purple is very similar to the wall, because they're different manufacturers, so they have different. That's why we were thinking, or maybe what we do is we do a lighter color out here and a lighter color in the free throws, and then have the darker as the main base of the,
So a different wood color, a
Right.
lighter wood color, that'd be the perimeter of the entire
Exactly.
gym playing
Where did that
surface.
sit? So these are the other two. There's a light maple and a golden maple.
Light maple floor.
The, for what it's worth, we were chatting with the team earlier today. As you can see in that rendering, do you see those clear story windows on the left? Those face west. We also have those windows along the south elevation and the east elevation. It's a frosted window, so there's a lot of light coming in there and it diffuses. This is going to be a very bright gym. If it was a dark gym with no windows, I would have leaned heavily on a lighter color, but we felt that with all of that natural light, it was safe to go that darker color. Yes.
Is the film gonna, is the film, where's the film gonna be on the windows?
That's not
Remember
first
what I
floor.
said, that film really makes it gloomy in the back.
That's not first floor.
Okay, I just wanna make sure, like, those ones on the doorway or
No, that's
whatever.
inside the building.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
there's no film. I like the dark. I would prefer the dark.
Or did we want to do a perimeter wood color different than the playing surface?
I think that'd look good.
And then do
The
that for
contrast.
the boxes for the foul. Free throw.
Here's the one that's
And then you have the lines.
Yes.
classic.
It's
Yeah.
classic. Is that easy to install and maintain?
Yes.
It's not gonna peel up because
No,
there's a
it's heat
specific
welded
seam?
seams, just
Okay.
like a rubber roof, heat welded.
So what would your recommendation be for the outer perimeter color?
I like the contrast of the lighter, which Paul is, yep, exactly.
I agree.
How about for
Same
keeping
thing.
clean, is that?
That'd be the
Is
same
that
thing with
light
the color
color
would
easy
be.
enough to keep clean?
Yeah, this is a very durable surface, so you just come out with your scrubber and it cleans right up.
About Florida?
Matt, Matt.
I was just gonna make a motion to go with a dark court and a lighter outside perimeter.
Shane?
That's including, like, the lighter would be also where the color is on the screen. That would be light as well, to kind of contrast the,
Yeah, so I believe what we're saying is this would be lighter,
Yeah.
and then this would be darker.
And then the blue,
the blue.
except for the center circle, would be the lighter.
lighter.
Okay, yeah, where the
Yeah,
color
yeah.
and
The
blue. Yes.
Right.
Okay,
Follow shot, line
key.
area, the key, yeah. Alright, so,
And something I do want to just clarify real quick, one thing that's inaccurate about this rendering is that we actually ended up putting wall padding along the entire wall, so there's a lot more of that color.
the purple, if we pick the purple. We could pick gray,
yeah,
which is,
alright, well, no one seconded your
Second.
motion, so
Oh,
it's,
you didn't ask for
it's
one.
sitting in the air.
I'll second the motion.
Alright, Matt Pappas motions and Alex seconds to have the dark wood in the court, the lighter wood as a contrast as the border and in the key. Any discussion, Alex?
Yeah, just because you're holding up, I don't think that was the original dark. I think this
Oh.
classic oak
Yeah,
is.
the classic.
So just to
Yes,
clarify,
yes,
classic
that looks
oak is
better.
the darker in the
Correct.
center,
Yeah.
the light around the border, and then the key is the
Shane, are you laughing at me?
light maple, right?
That sounds good.
Alright, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. Alright,
so wall pads, if we can. That is the purple, which matches it could match a purple line in the layout. And these are all of the other colors, so it's the divider that comes down to divide the two courts as well as the wall pads. So these two cross courts, there's a ceiling hung divider curtain that comes, so these two cross courts can be played separately.
Alex?
So our thinking here is that we would probably like this to be whatever our school color is gonna be, is that what we're thinking? Okay. I'm perfectly fine with the purple, I think it's great, and I support going with that. Is that motion?
Maybe it's clear to everybody else, but not to me, the purple, what purple are you?
Right there.
We have a couple of different purples spoken of, okay.
Just one,
That's your
just one
purple.
That's the one, that is the purple. Not that
It's
one.
pretty classic.
Not the funereal.
No, not that one.
So,
Thank you, purple.
And what are these for?
Those are the other choices.
Oh,
For other color choices.
well, I mean, I think, you know, maybe I don't know if we have jumped ahead and voted on the school color being the purple and white, which I'm fine with, but I do think that is almost a first, should be an earlier decision that we're doing here right away, to then try to coordinate everything else with it.
That's why I asked the question. I mean, is this essentially a vote on the school color?
Because if we're picking the purple and white, which I think is great, then we don't want to be mixing in blue and green and yellow and.
I'll make a motion for the school colors to be purple and white.
Second.
Okay, Shane made the motion for colors to be purple and white, and Tim seconded the motion. Discussion. Steve?
Oh, no, I had something else to ask before the motion, but that's fine.
Well, you can have, is it related to the school colors?
No.
Oh.
Related to the floor.
Don't forget. Any other discussion on the school colors? All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, or, wait, I didn't say that. Opposed? Nay. All right. Steve?
So, the padding on the wall will be this, and then the lines like in that are gonna be this, correct?
Technically, the lines, these are the painted. If we picked purple, we need to do a layout, so it'll be more, we'll probably pick gray and probably white or black for the other. But this is the purple, which
That's pretty close.
is pretty close, yeah.
But it might, like that matches, or just offset a little bit with the light. You got a little lighter blue, darker floor.
Mhm.
It's gonna match, correct?
Correct, yes.
That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that purple.
I just wanna make sure that it matches.
Matt?
I can make a motion that we use the purple for padding and the lines on the court.
Second.
Okay, Matt Pappas makes a motion and Steve seconds to have the purple for the curtain and the purple for the lines on the court. What about the pads? Did you say pads too?
Padding and the lines.
And the padding. So curtain, padding, and lines for purple. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
We're almost there. Just have bathrooms.
Great work, everybody.
Wait,
All right, on to bathrooms.
Oh, Tim?
Can I ask something?
Yeah,
I'll
of
maybe
course.
back up to something. So a while back, we voted on the rubber treads for the staircases, and not that that's really a big deal, but one of the choices in there was a kind of a shade of purple, and I wondered if it wouldn't make more sense to keep that in, you know, if that's gonna be the school colors, why wouldn't we be kind of, throughout the school kind of, instead of having blues and purples and greens and.
I think the recommendation was the blue, though.
I know,
think they chose
but-
the blue for the stairs.
Was that considered?
Yeah, I mean, it's, that honestly, those three colors, except for the greens, I know, off limits. But either the purple or the blue, I mean, that's fine, either one is okay. I mean, again, this is not just this is everyone's decision on this, so.
Do you have a preference, Aaron?
Do I have a preference? I mean, no. Yeah, I don't really have a preference for that.
Shane?
I agree. I love blue. I wish we didn't have two schools that were blue. But we're going with purple, so I think get purple maybe in another area of the school is not a bad idea.
Well, purple will be like throughout, like those links in the corridors. The cafeteria will have the purple accent color in one grade level.
Yeah.
So purple will be throughout as an accent, but Matt?
Is there a darker purple option for the floor treads, or is that the only purple?
I don't think so.
They're actually made.
Oh, really?
There
Okay.
might- We would have to go back and look.
Yeah.
There might be.
I agree, actually, Tim and I were kind of talking about that on the side, is I think it would look very weird having blue in there when the school color is purple. So if there's a better option for
Okay.
purple, I think we ought to reconsider and go with the purple.
Okay.
So I'll make that motion that we reconsider our other vote change the stair treads to some shade of purple that.
Purple, okay. If there's a
Blend
darker
is-
purple that
Blend with
isn't,
everything else.
Second.
All right, should we vote first to withdraw the prior motion?
Yeah,
and-
reconsider.
It's a vote for reconsideration.
All right,
Yeah.
so,
Is that a 2/3 vote?
Yeah, it's good to-
all right, so we'll vote on reconsidering the motion. All those in favor, or wait, the motion was Matt Pappas, the second was Tim?
Oh, other way around.
Okay, the motion was Tim, the second was Matt Pappas. This is a motion to reconsider the prior motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now we'll make the motion.
Switch the stair tread color to purple.
Second.
Okay, so Tim makes a motion for the stair tread colors to be purple, and Matt Pappas seconds the motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
And then just so I'm clear, is it okay if I just pick something that matches what we determine as our kind of a typical purple color? Or do I need to come back next month and say, hey, this is a different purple?
Just whatever's closest to that
Yep.
accent purple.
Perfect. Yep,
Whatever that way.
thank you.
right.
Great. All right, bathrooms. So, maybe I'll start with the camera here. So we have flooring, we have porcelain tile on the floor, and we have ceramic tile on the walls. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna show you all what the patterns look like on this plan here. I actually don't think it made it into the PowerPoint slide, so I will I'll just quickly walk this through. So we have 2 gang bathrooms, 1 gang bathroom, male, female on level 1, a second male, female on level 2. Is everyone familiar with what gang bathroom means?
No.
It's a larger bathroom with multiple toilets. And then we have multiple single-use toilets scattered all throughout the school. So in the single-use bathrooms, it's only 1 color on the floor. In the gang bathrooms, it's the field color. In the gang bathrooms, it's a field color with a thick band going through it. That's what you see here. So field color, wide band. And then the walls have an accent along the top and the bottom, and then a field color in the middle. Okay, so again, accent on the top, bottom, field in the middle, with a 2x2 coursing as kind of a textual strip on the side. So that's, if you can visualize that, that'll help with the decision making on these colors.
Think purple,
No green.
it's school colors purple, should go with purple.
Yeah, that'd be every
Purple,
bathroom, we're not
every
doing any
bathroom,
grades
purple.
Right.
stuff, just
All bathrooms the same.
All bathrooms purple.
I'll make that one.
The motion,
So what is which part is purple and which part is?
So in this rendering, what looks like is blue would be purple. So just a thin little strip on the top and the bottom.
and then the accent floor would be purple.
Right.
Yep.
And what's the main color?
And then the main color, so we took a couple of options off, but they all were in the same family as this
By the way,
So that's the wall, but did they pick which choice?
Oh, sorry, yeah, so this is the wall, and then these are the 2 options. We got more if you'd like to see it. But these are the 2 field for the floor. So we were leaning towards this earlier today, but we liked both of them.
What color's the grout?
We haven't selected that
Haven't
yet,
selected that yet.
but dark, not light.
All right, thank you.
So, and part of the reason why we gravitated to those colors is because the toilet partition colors are so limited. Those are really the 2 best choices. So you kind of have to choose which toilet partition color, and then you can gravitate to whichever floor tile you like. And remember that the toilets and sinks are white, bright white.
Okay. Matt?
I have 2 questions. Are the bathrooms sort of in a situation where you just walk right into it, or is there a door?
There's a door.
Yeah.
Would you mind going to the level 1 and then zoom? And then if you can zoom in right on the middle of the screen.
And it's in your rendering right, that you're holding to, you can see the door going in.
There's a wall so that you can't see in, so there's a door here and a door here.
Is there a worry in an elementary school about having bathrooms with a door like you might have in a high school or a middle school? And should we try to redesign it so that set up so you don't have a door.
We started without doors, and then we designed the doors in the middle at one of the meetings, I can't remember which, but.
So, my school has a similar bathroom setup. We keep the doors propped open with a door stop. We keep them open at all times.
We get that wall there anyway, so that gives you the privacy anyways.
So what happened was during many moons ago when we were value engineering, we had to take a few square feet out of the building, and we took that out of the bathrooms on level 1. On level 2, we had enough real estate, so we actually don't have doors up there.
Okay.
Because you need enough kind of linear feet to like turn all the corners and all that. And you know, at $400 a square foot, whatever that is, that quickly adds up in those bathrooms. So we took it out of that level 1 bathroom, so then we needed the doors, because we didn't have enough depth in there to end up with those screens.
My second question is, do we, because you're gonna have a male bathroom, female bathroom, why are we choosing blue or white or whatnot? I'm just kinda curious. Is that been considered, or is?
You can have two different colors, or you can have the same color. It's been done both ways.
Blue, pink, whatever, I mean, is the signage gonna be clear enough that people will know which one is male, female?
Yep, there's going to be signage. It's a discussion that we have with every school. Some schools, just, you know, with gender being a discussion, it's just best to, they feel it's just best to have the same color. And then it's just, people can't have an opinion if it's the same color.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's a strong opinion in this district about that, but I think we were just leaning towards one color.
I'm fine with that if that's where people want to go. I mean, my school doesn't even have gang bathrooms, so we have all individual bathrooms, so.
And additionally, we could have the same color scheme and then have this in female and this in males, and just have the toilet partitions be the different colors if we wanted.
Do all the same.
Yep.
I like the same. All right, so we do have to decide between the gray and the beige for the floor tile.
Well, there was a motion. Partition and the other tile, right?
And the partition.
Yeah, there was a motion for purple, I don't know if we
But
want to
we
amend
have
that to
to then-
expand, or
yeah.
we want to do another vote on the other colors, but, I mean, there is a motion on the floor, so.
All right, so the motion on the floor is only about the purple color being in all the bathrooms. Why don't we vote that out?
Second.
Okay, well, that was already, we already had a motion and a
Did we
second.
have a motion on that?
There was a motion, but no second.
Oh, okay. Who made the motion?
I think maybe me.
All right, do you want to include, why don't we put it all in one?
I'm
Sorry, I just need.
Yeah, so we're gonna
I'll read.
put it, everything into one.
Okay.
So purple for all the bathrooms. Gray,
Gray goes back.
Gray floor.
Gray floor.
And what toilet partition?
cream or gray for the petition?
Cream, are we saying cream?
Cream or,
It's like
I think what I'm hearing is cream, purple, gray.
All right.
Sounds good.
Is that,
My motion's for cream, purple, gray for the bathroom.
Second.
okay, Shane made the motion, Steve seconded. Purple, cream, partition, gray floor. Discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
We're done.
well done.
Great.
Thank you.
You got us through it. You got us through it, yeah.
All right, next on the agenda is item 4, construction manager update. Jason.
Well, the first update is I can now buy flooring.
All right.
So in the last month, we started steel erection. That's kind of the biggest update. If you walk out, look at the building right now, we have about 2/3 of the steel up already, which is the majority of the first and second floor of the classroom ring. We haven't started the roof steel yet. We've turned the corner. The elevator shaft is built, and we've started the masonry in the gym. We're probably about 2/3 of the way up on the walls in the gym. So you can really see the footprint of the building right now. And that's gonna keep us busy through the end of the month and in November. And then, site-wise, we had the understep utilities are in, so that's the stuff that's under the cafeteria area. We're currently doing the underground site utilities, which is we've got the electrical conduit going, we're about 3/4 of the way to the transformer, and we're starting the water piping shortly. And then the next big kind of milestones will be come November, we're gonna be looking to start pouring concrete flooring. We're gonna do the slab on deck, which is the second floor first. And then later in the month, we're doing the slab on grade, which is the first floor. We're looking at roofing mid-November. We're gonna be starting the exterior wall framing in early November, and I'm optimistic we're gonna have the building watertight come the end of the year, maybe early January. Once we hit that milestone, you'll see us inside. We'll be doing rough and MEP work, drywall, and things will really start going fast then. So far, not to jinx ourselves, we are on schedule. We haven't had any major headaches. The subs are doing a great job. I don't have anything to complain about yet, so. Yeah, oh, yes.
Great report.
Yeah, any questions,
No,
Tim?
I'll make the comment on it in case nobody else is following it. Follow Ray
Yeah.
Wayman on Facebook, and he's taking drone shots of weekly updates on the steel going up and the block walls on the gym, and it's a great way to watch the progress.
Yeah, looks great. And the pictures in the backup too are really nice. All right, any questions for Jason? All right, thank you. Okay, next on the agenda, item 5, owner's representative report, Gordon.
And I would add, now that we're well into it, as your advocate, as the owner's rep, that both Banwell and Harvey are certainly exceeding our expectations, so we're very fortunate as a school system. We have covered, we are on time and we are on budget. I said every month that's what you want to hear me say, and that is what I am saying this month, that we continue to be. We also have not had to dig into any of our contingency to any great extent. So that'll be nice as we start rounding into the new year and get more and more of the project done. We may be able to free some of that up, and you folks on the JBC will be able to choose some items that we otherwise might have put off. But right now, we're still being cautious, but it's really looking good to be at this point and not have much taken out of owners or the construction contingency, either one. I have 2 motions I need from you tonight. I want to do things right, and we had talked about purchasing the kitchen equipment, and our eagle eyes up in the bookkeeping department here at the SAU, we thank them for their oversight. They discovered that we actually need a motion from the JBC. So what you have in front of you are 2 memos that I wrote back in September. The first one, September 5th, and in that one, what we talked about was we had about 50 items that we were buying. We had split the bids out, and we had everything except the overhead air handlers for the kitchen vents that were going to be items 40 and 41. So with those items pulled out, we had 3 bids that came in, Alternate Sales, Singer, and Culinary Depot. They were over $100,000 apart, so we began digging deeper. Sometimes you never jump for joy when something looks too good to be true. And I found that what had happened is Alternative Sales had missed a number of items. So we gave them a chance to rebid it. It came in at $377,288. We felt to be fair, and this was all done in a sealed bid, we felt to be fair that we would have Singer Kittredge also bid it, and actually they came in $100 less. So it's made my life easier because I had sort of a bad taste in my mouth with Alternate Sales missing so much of the bid. So I feel a much greater comfort level recommending Singer Kittredge to you. So one motion tonight will be for you to accept our recommendation of Singer Kittredge in the amount of $377,152.33. Concurrent with that, I'd ask for either the same motion or a second motion that we then did have the overhead units for the venting of the kitchen, items 40 and 41. If you notice, the date of this is about 2 weeks later. I think Alternate Sales felt the sting of their mistake, and they came in at $38,500 and were the low bidder on the venting, and Singer Kittredge was $51,000 and Culinary Depot was $40,000. So we had a fairly good pocket there, And again, I'm recommending there that we go to alternate sales. Having said that, everybody's happy and is okay with each other, water under the bridge that they missed it, but and we had carried approximately about $50,000 shy of this in our budget, but we knew that we were a little late when we did the budget, so we'll be okay. We have plenty of money in the contingency to be able to absorb this, so these are good figures, and I'm recommending that you make a motion for both of them.
All right.
But questions?
Any questions? We'll make it simple and we'll do two separate motions since they are two different vendors. So I'll make a motion to,
I have one question.
oh yeah,
I'm sorry.
yep.
Yes, sir.
Just as we're proceeding, so alternative sales, I just happened to see on their other, on your other bid sheet, is listed as a Kingston, New Hampshire company. Are these other companies, Singer Kittredge and or Culinary Depot, are they New Hampshire companies as well? Or?
Culinary Depot is from afar, but Singer Kittredge, yes. Singer is the old Kittredge. You used to see them everywhere. They used to have outlets. They have a base in New Hampshire. They have a base in Massachusetts. The guy's local. He's right here. Personally, I've worked with him, and I know Ingrid's worked with him. I'm going to look at Harvey. I think have you worked with Kittredge?
Harvey has, I have not personally, but.
Okay. So Kittredge is a local company. It is a New Hampshire-based company.
Okay, we'll start with motion to, the motion of recommending the purchase of kitchen birds, except items 40 and 41, to Singer Kittredge via Kevin Morgan. Is there a second?
Well, in the end, we need a money.
Oh, and
what
money,
number?
sorry, for dollar amount, $377,152.33. Okay, so Sarah motion.
Second.
Second, Steve. Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next motion, I recommend the purchase of kitchen bids 40 and 41 to alternative sales via Kayla Miller in the amount $38,500.
Second.
Sarah motioned, Paul second. Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And then the last thing I'd like to offer you is next month, if you'd like to come over to the site before this 6 o'clock meeting. We're not really set up to have this meeting there because of the television and such, but we could have you over from 5 to 5:45 and walk around the campus if you're interested. Just let us know. You may wish to wait till December, but there's plenty to see and walk around with us now. If you'd like to come by, let us know.
Okay, why don't we make that decision since we're all together now? Do we want to do this for November's meeting? Before November's meeting, meet at 5 o'clock on site and then come here for 6 o'clock
Just a
meeting?
quick question. Jason, will the floors be poured then? For our next meeting?
Not the downstairs, I'm sorry.
The upstairs deck should be, but we won't have that. It wouldn't be safe to bring you guys up there yet. So you
Okay.
can look at it, but you can't walk up there.
Matt?
Will there be enough light
That's my question.
at 5 o'clock?
When do we shut the clock?
Well, what electricity and work lights are available for us to safely see?
I can't answer that question because we don't have them there currently because we don't need them. We will have to have something there, but we usually wrap up around 3 o'clock-ish.
Yeah, before.
So we can, if you want, we can touch base as the date approaches. If we want to do it earlier, I will be there whenever.
Yeah.
We will be there.
I don't know if availability
It's
for
wait
us
until
would
it's more
work.
electricity.
I don't know if we could be there earlier.
Sunrise on that day.
We're looking at sunset.
Sunset.
Please look at the solar variables.
We are there at 6 o'clock if you want to get up early.
It's only gonna get worse as we go further though, so if we wait until December, it's gonna be worse.
When is nautical twilight? I gotta put in the right.
While he looks, let me make one small request, just as a reminder. Whenever we do this during the life of the project, everybody should be wearing, I would love for everybody to be wearing work boots, but at a minimum, shoes or sneakers closed-toed, no high heels, because it's just the safety risk of trips or stubbing toes. And I haven't lost a school board member yet, I don't want to start this job. That'd be perfect.
What day is that?
What's the date?
Our next meeting is, the calendar,
11, 13. That'd be automotive.
Sunset is
yeah,
4:20.
13th.
Sunset is 4:20.
Yeah, it'll be dark.
Should we do a video?
Yeah.
Could do a quick video.
I like that.
Video. Yeah, we'll do a video.
Do a little walkthrough video for
Okay.
us for the next meeting. Okay,
Any other questions? Thank you.
all right, thank you. Okay, next item is other. Does anyone have anything under other for us? Okay. Erin, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. All right, item 7, public comment. Anyone from the public wishing to address the committee?
No, y'all done a great job.
All right, thank you. I'll close public comment. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn. Second.
Okay, motion by Matt Bollier, second by Matt Pappas. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries.